Energy Ramp is the name of the game. Whether it's Manaphy, Leafeon, or Dialga, players are drawn to the idea of accelerating energy production to build up powerful Pokemon to sweep. In Pokemon Pocket, greed can be very good. And if there's any Pokemon that punishes greed, it's ALAKAZAM. Players have forgotten about this offensive beast. ALAKAZAM's Psychic Attack deals 60 damage initially, but will scale up by 30 for each energy attached onto its target. 120 for those carrying 2 energy, 150 for those with 3. And let's just say that anything with 4 or more gets absolutely obliterated. Being a non-EX Pokemon, ALAKAZAM is incredibly powerful as a sweeper, but he's far from perfect. 130 HP for a stage 2 evolution makes him susceptible to being revenge killed quite easily. And while you'll only be netting your opponent 1 point, finding the time to build up a second ALAKAZAM is easier said than done. Also, Kadabra is terrible. This is why it's best to pair ALAKAZAM with a defensive lineup. Today's deck combines ALAKAZAM with Dragonite for a classic leaf-centered strategy. Abra's teleport attack is essentially the same as Magikarp's Leap Out, allowing us to swap Abra with Dragonite without losing energy momentum. Azelf is our 5th basic Pokemon. He's there for matchups in which our opponents can apply pressure without sending in their biggest threat. Azelf can reach towards the bench and enable Cyrus so that ALAKAZAM can strike them first. This deck shares a very similar structure with yesterday's Machamp list. Leaf is the key card here, allowing us to hide behind Dragon's rough skin to then send in ALAKAZAM and punish them. What Pokemon should I build next? You decide. Leave a comment down below and we'll see what we can do. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. We post Pokemon Pocket decks here daily. Have a swell day, enjoy the games, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, here we go. Yesterday Machamp, today ALAKAZAM. Both of them are part of the same art, in case you don't know, as they're technically fighting each other. And we're facing off against grass. We have an Abra lead. We're going first. We can technically teleport out, perhaps placing a Rocky Helmet onto it to deter them from attacking us. Okay, they lead off with Dialga. That gives us time to pivot this out. But we do need to find... We have 2 turns basically to find another basic Pokemon to retreat into. We find Potion, and there's the Pokeball. As we're going to drop that Azelf. We still would like to find another one. Ideally, Dragonite for this situation. They're playing both types of energy here. They play grass as well, which is really weird with Dialga. Is that like a mistake because they play like a... That's probably a mistake because they're playing Shaman and they forgot to change it in the deck builder. The deck builder actually worked against them and now they can't... they can't ramp. Odd curve. You gotta place that energy onto Arceus, buddy. That's... Defeated by the deck builder. We are quite simply going to get the hell out of here. Into Azelf. Preserve the energy onto the Abra so we don't lose momentum. I gotta stop. I gotta work on that tick of like biting my fingers. It's not pleasant to watch. You know, I gotta evolve as a content. I don't know when I developed this habit. I mean, I've had it for quite, like, years at this point, right? But I'm not sure. Okay, I do want a Pokemon communication here because I want to find a basic Pokemon. My odds are really high so that I'm not vulnerable to a Sabrina here. Because if they get the damage on the Abra with the Metallic Turbo, not even Potion will protect this. So that's good because now we have Dragonite to protect us from Sabrina. We can develop Kadabra. And the question is, do we, if they place energy onto this, I think Rocky Helmet here makes sense. Now I have rough skin on both Azelf and Dragonite, essentially. And the important thing is, Giant Cape onto ALAKAZAM allows me to survive an attack from Arceus. Okay. We go for the research here, and now we have to think. You have a lot of cards in hand. There's Leaf. And there's Abra. I definitely do want to develop this Abra. We have Leaf to pivot in. The question is, do we place this energy onto Azov? It can lead up to 40 damage, which I think is quite relevant here. And I'm gonna target the Dialga. Weaken it. Let's see what they do. Like, that Mew is a problem now. But they placed the energy on the wrong Pokemon. They should have placed the energy onto Mew. Mew is a way for them to counter us. But now we can evolve into Alakazam. We place the energy. We go for the Giant Cape. It's funny how they basically just generated, like, they only generated grass once, so it's not like they got completely destroyed by that, because now we can go for the Psychic, and with 150 HP we survive an Arceus Ultimate Force even after a Giovanni boost. But they send them in anyways. This is... Whoa, they also have... So what? This is something that actually happens quite regularly when you run into Dialga Arceus players. They autopilot a little bit, because if they put something, you know, they acknowledge the matchup, you know, they see the Kadabra, they know I play Alakazam, they would have prioritized the energy onto the Mew. Because the Mew is able to one-shot my Alakazam back. They're gonna Sabrina me. I'm gonna bring in Dragonite. Because, yeah, this is what I'm talking about, autopiloting. Like, you see this a lot from people who just copy the best deck in the meta, right? Like, they just turn the autopilot on and they just click buttons, essentially. Now they know that that Sabrina was essentially for nothing. We're going to put the energy onto the Abra here, and we're quite simply going to Leaf. They could have a Dawn. But my Azov can reach this. Obviously, they can have a Potion as well. Dawn and Potion are cards that I'm personally worried about here. Even with the deck builder, the energy stuff screwing them over, which it actually didn't, you know, they're probably going to correct that now. They didn't really put much thought into what was happening, right? And this happens often when you run into people just playing these decks. Because I don't think all versions of Dialga Arceus do play Mew. Like, I think most of them play 2 copies of Shaman alongside the Dialga and Arceus. But the variants that run Mew specifically is a counter to Alakazam, unfortunately, because the Psychic, even with the Cape, knocks us out. So if you're playing the deck and you run into Alakazam, you do want to prioritize building up the Mew to make sure that Alakazam cannot sweep you. In that case, we try to build up 2 Alakazam so we can revenge the Mew after. But, you know, we can also counter our opponent's poor piloting to not trying to rip on them, but, you know, like, that's just not how you do it. Am I toxic? Oh, God. Round 2. What do we got now? Joy. What are you playing, Joy? Water. Oh, boy, my favorite. Well, we got Dragonite, and we have Rocky Helmet as well, but if they lead off with a Manaphy, this Dragonite doesn't really do much. They lead off with Arceus. It's Arceus with water. This could be a Abomasnow. I don't think I match up too poorly into that. How about we get an Abra here, though? That would be neat. That would be nice. Beautiful. Now we're in search of Kadabra. We do not apply the Rocky Helmet yet because there's nothing else on the board. I'm not sure if I want to be using the Rocky Helmet onto the Dragonite. Like, we have to see how the matchup evolves. They could leap into something to attack me immediately, but I don't think that's the approach you take towards Dragonite anyways. They put a Rocky Helmet into Arceus, which puts it at psychic range no matter what. Giant Cape is what takes it out of it, but with the Rocky Helmet, it's good to see. We're going to apply an energy onto Abra, but we're not going to Pokemon Communication. Because we cannot enable Alakazam next turn anyways. It's important to find Kadabra, and it's also important to find a basic. I would love a professor's research that can allow me to... I need to draw more Pokemon, basically. Because a Sabrina could undo me. I'm vulnerable to Sabrina here. There's no way around it. There really isn't. I could play Pokemon Communication, but then I lose my ability to Alakazam, so please don't have Sabrina. There's Glaceon, okay. You play Misty, you don't play Sabrina. Okay. I was worried. I was very, very worried. But now Arceus takes down the Dragonite. If it had a giant cape, the Dragonite would put it at range. And we can send in Alakazam, and we can start cleaning up. There you are, Azelf. Okay. Could have been here one turn earlier, but whatever. Let's play the Azelf. I mean, is there a reason to play the Azelf? For now there isn't. We're gonna Psychic. We get hit by the Rocky Helmet. I could have placed the Rocky Helmet on this, but the reality is if they happen to hit a Misty that flips 2 heads, we lose anyways. I can still find a giant cape to place onto. Okay, this guy really likes Rocky Helmet. So they play Glaceon, they play Arceus, and they play Crobat. Interesting. So they're trying to chip away. Here's another Pokeball. And what is this? An Abra. We can try to build up a second Alakazam, potentially. What if they pivot into... So we drop down to 80. They bring in Golbat. No matter what, I survive. So I don't need to play this potion just yet. No, I dropped down to 70 and 60. I do die, actually. So I do need to play this potion if I plan on hitting this Glaceon here. I think at this point I do play the Rocky Helmet onto you. In case they actually do manage to flip heads with a random Misty. And we Psychic. But this is important. If it wasn't for that potion, they could bring in Golbat, the one that deals 40 damage, and they would one-shot me. Or revenge me. Because I would be at 60 HP, and they hit me super effectively. But they play... I don't know why people play that Golbat. I don't understand. The other one, like... Dealing 10 more damage is such a big deal. And especially because you can attack with it even with water energy. I see so many people playing this Golbat, and I really, really don't understand. They play Irida. I've been told by my comment section that it's Irida, not Irida. Let's go for the research. Crobat can proceed to slow me down. I do not have Cyrus yet. This Psychic is ultimately weak. Azelf is just not doing enough, unfortunately, so I am gonna drop this. Sorry, Dragonite. And I'm gonna place the energy onto Abra. And for now, I'm just gonna Psychic this Arceus. I don't really have the means to reach the back here. Wait, what? Oh. Okay. All right, now we do go for Pokemon communication. Now it should be 100%. It's 100% a Kadabra, which is really, really, really good. Very, very good, because now that we have this ALAKAZAM, we guarantee draw into a Kadabra here. I need to keep this ALAKAZAM with the... Yeah, we still have enough HP thanks to that potion. So we're gonna Psychic the Arceus. And we're just trying to top deck Cyrus. That's all we're trying to do here. Find the Cyrus. 3 cards left in the deck. This guarantees that we find the next turn. So we can retreat manually. Placing the energy here. Evolving into ALAKAZAM. Is there a reason for me? I can attack this. But what if they flip heads with Misty? If they flip heads with Misty, they knock me out anyways because of the Crobat. So we Psychic. And now we finally have the Cyrus. But if you're running Water Energy, I really don't understand why you're not playing the other Golbat, because you can actually make use of the Golbat and attack with it. Because that Golbat not only hits for 10 more damage, but also attacks with colorless energy. So I don't like that aspect of this deck building. But they have just, yeah, been trying to constantly pivot around my damage. As now they bring in Crobat, they hide behind it. I don't like playing Crobat without Darkness Energy, though, to be honest. Like, I appreciate the idea, but Crobat's attack is really, really efficient. Like, 50 damage for 1 energy is just good. And now, I get rid of this annoying thing that's been chipping away at me all this time. There we go. Literally had to draw through our entire deck to find the Cyrus. But we did it. I still think they should play the other Golbat, though. Round 3. Effican. Playing Electric. We got Abra, but we're going second, which means we can teleport out before it gets damaged. And we have that Professor's Research and Kadabra in hand already. So this hand is promising. As he Zapdos, as he Magnemite, this could be old school Lieutenant Surge Pikachu. With Magnezone. And Magneton is a Pokemon that can easily play into our ALAKAZAM. The more energy they build up with their, was it Volt Drive? The better. And they rocket him with the Zapdos. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and research. I want to teleport the hell out of here, but I need another basic in order to be able to do that. Cyrus and another Kadabra. Well, okay. That's not good. That is not good at all. I'm trapped. Promising hand, but if you don't draw a basic, you just don't draw it. Will they put the energy on the Zapdos? Double Magneton. We can undo the damage on this Abra with the potion that we run. So we're not vulnerable to Cyrus, but we're still vulnerable to stuff like Sabrina. Like we need to get the hell out of here. And they go for a Pokemon communication now. This is not correct. This is not correct because you cannot evolve into Magnezone unless you don't play Magnezone. You're kidding me. Yikes. I do want to apply a potion here. Because there is a world where they could pivot and they could don the Magneton. And there's a world where they have Magnezone and I'm dead. That was a very promising opener, but sometimes openers can be very misleading. They're pivoting. They're pivoting into the Magneton. Dawn, I can live. Magnezone, I cannot. That's just sad. That is so sad. Round 4. It happens. Alakazam's biggest weakness is a lack of friends. If there are no friends for him to hide behind, he's very powerful offensively. But not quite resilient. Defense is not his strongest point here. We have Abra as a lead, but we're going second, so we can teleport out. We just need another basic Pokemon. We have double Professor's Research. We do find the basic. Very important here. There we go. So we can teleport right into it. And we have super effective coverage against fighting. Not Sudowoodo, but Lucario and Marshadow. Okay, I mean, for 20 damage, I don't know if this Sabrina is worth. I can undo this damage with a potion that I do run as a one-off. I'm gonna go for another Pokeball here before I research. And now Kadabra and also Potion are ideal. There we go. We don't find Kadabra, but we want to be teleporting out anyways. So I don't expect them to go for double Sabrina. Like they generally play Sabrina with Cyrus. I'm going to play the Rocky Helmet onto this. And I'm going to repeat the same. I'm going to teleport, get the hell out of here. The reason for them to Sabrina is to enable a Cyrus, basically. And we just denied it with the potion. I could Pokemon Communication here, but I'd rather wait. As this Dragonite is going to be doing a lot of job here. Going to be putting a lot of work here. And now if this Sudowoodo wants to interact with my Dragonite, it just gets 2 KO'd, so I can't really afford to do that. Okay, so... now I do want a Pokemon Communication. I'm going to drop the Alakazam. If I find another Abra, then I build up that Abra. I don't have any more Pokemon Communication, so I drop everything in case they do have a second Sabrina. And I just start building up the other Abra. Making use of the Stalemate to essentially build up 2 Alakazams. Over time, we gotta find 2 Kadabras and 1 Alakazam, but we've drawn through a strong portion of our deck. And this Dragon is really stalling them. We do not have Leaf yet. There is Azelf. We do not reveal the fact that we have ALAKAZAM yet. We quite simply build up the Abra in the back. And they, you know, this stalemate works for us. We place the energy onto Dragon to threaten them with a pivot. We don't reveal the ALAKAZAMs, giving them a false sense of security, and we take our time. That's the power of Dragon with ALAKAZAM. In a matchup like this, Dragon can really deter weaker attackers. What? No way. Nah. What the hell? No matter what, there's no way for them to revenge us. We have 80 HP. They have nothing to hit us hard with. So we're not going to evolve into ALAKAZAM. We're making them think that we don't have it. So maybe they're encouraged to bring in Lucario and apply some pressure here. But see, the fact that the game dragged out worked really well for us, because if we can build up 2 ALAKAZAMs, then we have nothing to fear. Your frailty is your biggest weakness. But if we can navigate around that... Whoa! Lucario Machamp? Now we got nothing to hide. Now it's all good, man. Yep. But Dragon was really the MVP of that game. The Dragon Rocky Helmet combo allowed us to halt our opponent. And that's what we want to do. We want to make them slow down so we can find our pieces, build up our energy, prepare 2 ALAKAZAMs, and then we're pretty much unstoppable. With or without super effective coverage, really. Luis P. Water. Okay, we got that Abra lead. But that's the great thing about Abra. And that's why I like combining with Dragon, because it plays similarly to Gyarados and Dragon. We have the teleport ability. Magikarp has the leap out attack. So we can attack with teleport, attack, and retreat into the Dragon, just like that deck does. Against Manaphy, though, hiding behind a Dragon is not necessarily ideal. But our ALAKAZAM can potentially counter their energy buildup. We have double Pokeball, which we're definitely going to use before we research. Thin the deck out of basic Pokemon. As we do find that Dragon, and now we research. I would have liked to see Azelf, to be honest. But I'm not going to say no to potentially double Abra here. I'm going to put the energy onto you. And I'm going to get the hell out of here. Just think, I mean, they're definitely going to ramp, right? But I have 2 Leafs in the deck. I have another Professor's Research. So I'm going to try to slow the game down no matter what. Whoa. What? Giratina? Okay, I wasn't expecting Giratina. I'm running into some odd decks today. Like, I'm getting surprised, like, at every corner here. I don't want to play this Dragon because Pokemon communication is a thing, and I also would like that slot open for Azelf, because I could send Azelf. I have Cyrus in hand, so I could be sending Azelf in and targeting something like a built-up Palkia in the back. What is going on? My brother in Christ, you have 8 cards in hand. How is this happening? You know, now I do play the Dragonite to protect against Sabrina because now I have time. I don't want to reveal the ALAKAZAMs because one of the things is like once ranked comes out, this will probably change as you climb through the ranks. But now that we have this free matchmaking, a lot of players don't know what ALAKAZAM does. So you have the surprise factor. So not revealing the card so they can read it matters, actually. There's another Manaphy. Like, what is this Giratina doing here, though? I mean, I guess to pivot, they obviously play Dawn. Like, they're just feeding into my ALAKAZAM, though. I'm like, today's matchups have been really weird. Because even that Lucario deck that we faced was running Machamp. Like, out of nowhere. I just build up both. Honestly. The one thing that ruins me is like a random red card. So I'm just gonna... I still don't want to reveal the ALAKAZAMs. But I am going to play this Rocky Helmet onto the Vertigon. Having both ALAKAZAMs enabled is important because I can be more aggressive with them. Or, you know, reckless. I'm bound to draw a Leaf. I have 2 copies of Leaf, so I'm bound to draw it one of these turns. So I do not place energy on Vertigon. I just make sure that these 2 are ready, which they basically are. Now I'm just 1 Leaf top deck away from just being able to fire off. And with 2 ALAKAZAMs, like I said, I'm pretty unstoppable. Like, if the deck gets to this point, they can't really do much about it. I'm confused. Okay, they took like a long time to play that Pokeball. Maybe they were smashing their table. Like, they were very angry. Okay, it's Blastoise with Dawn. Okay, now it makes sense. Okay, now it makes complete sense. But here's the thing. I one-shot Blastoise. So I actually, this is the craziest Misty, and I am super okay with it. There it is. Now I just show them. Because again, they could have a random red card, so I'm just gonna drop them. Also makes me less vulnerable to Sabrina. I can just... I have 2 and 2, essentially. I knock this out. They are basically gonna buy time for Blastoise to come in, but no matter what, even after flipping 4 heads with Misty, they definitely have War Turtle and Blastoise in hand, so they have to send something as fodder. It doesn't matter, because the fact that that has 5 energy on it, ALAKAZAM is a perfect counter to Blastoise, really. Because Blastoise needs 5 energy to one-shot ALAKAZAM, but the moment it has 5 energy, they keep placing energy. Oh my... Oh, Luis. Ay, Luis. Luis, vida mía, ¿qué haces? ¿Qué haces, Luis? Luis! Luis just does not read. He's not a fan of reading. And they're gonna have to learn the hard way. That you don't do that. With 6 energy, let's do some quick math. 240. Luis, does your Blastoise with a giant cape have 240 HP? Does it? I think not. Oh, okay, they didn't place that other... Okay, I think they learned. I think Luis learned. But unfortunately, sometimes it's just too late. Because my boy is going to blow him back. And I really want to get this attack fast before they concede. For the intro! Boom! Now I can show that. And in the middle of the intro, it's like 240 damage, and people watching like, how the hell did that happen? Now you know. Okay, let's see. If we get okay. We just faced Luis. We're facing water again. I am gonna assume that's the same Menifee. That is literally the same Menifee. We have Abra, Kadabra, and Alakazam. And Dragonite to go back into here. We can teleport right... Whoa! Dragonite? Dragonite. They can bring that in and ram us. I'm not a fan of that. I'm still going to teleport out. But we are in massive danger. There's no reason to evolve Kadabra immediately because Kadabra cannot attack unless it has 3 energy onto it. Manaphy, Dragonite. And they're hunting for that Dragonair. I need basic Pokemon more than I've ever needed them in my life. Oh, Jesus. We could be cooked here. We could be absolutely cooked here if I do not find another basic. Oh, no, that's not a basic. Oh, Jesus. I think I'm dead. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I am dead. If they have Dragonite, it's over. It's literally over. This giant cape doesn't change anything. Like Draco Meteor, 2 Dracos knock me out. I'm super dead unless like 3 of them go to Dragon. Oh, there's another one. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Double Dragonair. Bro, we're so cooked. We are so cooked. Like I just don't. Oof. Now even if I bring that in, they can back-to-back tail smack me. Oh, Jesus. I can send you in. Again, this cape doesn't really make a difference. It makes more of a difference on this in the back, but I got a Psychic U. And I gotta take down at least 1 Dragonair. And hope that they just cannot find the other one and I have enough time to build up another Alakazam. One could portray this as pure copium. We're dead. Omega lol. Omega, what just happened? What the hell just happened? What? Oh my goodness, yes. Oh my god. Is this what they call hope? Is this what they call hope? Because I one-shot this. But the question is, what do I put on you? It actually does not matter. If they Draco me, and they were to hit the 2 in the back, like, my best odds are to put a cape onto this Dragon, actually. Because that is what makes a difference, which means we just put the Rocky Helmet onto you. And we blow this back. They need another Dragonite. I was convinced we were cooked. I was so convinced we were cooked, but it actually hit the... It hit the one. Don't have another one. Don't. Today's games are so weird. They just full on hit the Dragonite in the back. I mean, to be fair, like my odds of surviving there were definitely greater than 50%. But the fact that they got no hit on means that, you know, I wasn't vulnerable. I mean, I could have put, if one Draco hit the Alakazam, I could have put a cape to protect it but I didn't draw the potion. So yeah, I'm gonna buy a lottery ticket today. All right, Myers, you'll be our final boss for the weirdest session I've had in a while. Psychic. Well, we got the Azelf lead into a Sigilyph. I would very much like Dragonite here. Sigilyph and what? Could it be Mewtwo? Double Pokeball, okay. Ah, oh, you're kidding me. I'm gonna pivot to Dragonite. They could have a Sabrina, but I'm not gonna play around it, to be honest, because I have Pokemon Communication and I could be forced. Now that I have no more Pokeballs, it's as hard to find Abra as it is to find Kadabra. Mismagius is interesting because I don't one-shot it with Alakazam. It's very rare for this to happen, but we end up finding 3 out of our 5 basics, and none of them are Abra. They play Alakazam as well. And they just dive into the Dragonite, which is what we want them to do. Okay, there we go. We haven't seen Sabrina yet, so I still want to keep this Dragonite in hand for Pokemon Communication, as they have Mismagius. Mismagius EX. After it connects onto Dragonite, their Alakazam can kill our Alakazam. So it's going to be a little bit tricky here. We'd rather, like, knock out Sigilyph and then deal with their Mismagius. There's the Pokemon Communication, but are we rushing into this thing? There is a good argument for it. Because Sabrina's a thing. I have Abra, Kadabra, Alakazam. 50% chance to get Kadabra. I can enhance my chances even further. I'm worried about Sabrina here. But because of Pokemon Communication, I want to preserve this here. They send in Mismagius, which indicates they have Sabrina. Or Giovanni, okay. I will probably pivot naturally here because now I may require another. Yeah, now my chances are greater. Now it's 66% chance to find Kadabra. And I can preserve the Dragonite and then I can pivot right into it. And they don't have enough time to build up the Alakazam yet. So now is the time to go for the Communication. And take Abra back. And 66% chance. I've waited all this time to enhance my chances of finding it. Now I can switch into you. I can evolve into you. And then I can put the energy onto you. And pivot right back into Dragonite. And they attack. That's exactly... If they would have thought it through, not attacking was the correct play, but this is everything. This seals the deal. This is essentially checkmate. Because now we evolve into ALAKAZAM. And we leaf. Get that Dragonite out of there. And score 2 points. With a perfect psychic kill that they've walked right into, thanks to Dragon's rough skin. I really like pairing Dragon with ALAKAZAM because of this. There are some matchups where it's just like efficient 2 energy attackers, and we need a little bit of boost. This Cyrus is everything. Dragon, absolute MVP of this match right here, punishing the Sigilyph, and then making them pay for that EX win condition. They're gonna confuse me. They're gonna confuse me. That's that's annoying. But I top deck Leaf. So I'm going to leave. You know, to leave. Leaf. Get and avoid the confusion. Bring in Azelf. And Psychic Arrow the Sigilyph, forcing them to bring in that second Misdreavus. Which will one-shot the Azelf. I could have put a cape on this Azelf to prevent that. But I also want to make them feel like they're getting there, you know? Because my Dragon is weekend is like, oh, I have a Cyrus. But Myers, you're not going to get to play Cyrus. You know why? Because I have Cyrus. Pokemon Pocket 2025, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, yeah. Clean. GG no re. Very off meta session today. Like, I face some really, really wacky builds. I like it. Like, I enjoy facing decks that are like, you know, eventually running into Dialga, Arceus, and Lucario builds again and again gets a little bit boring. When ranked comes out, this is going to be less of a thing. Like, the more you climb, the more you'll be running to the same matchups. But that'll also open the window to create specialized counter builds to capitalize on said matchups. But, you know, for now, it's kind of like the Wild West, and some days you just run into all sorts of bizarre shit like we did today. And, you know, it just goes to show that while ALAKAZAM can be good for countering the meta specifically, he can also counter the chaos as well. He's got it all. Thank you for watching. Have a swell day. Hope you enjoyed the games. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.